Tongie. I'm from a little town called Columbus, Mississippi, and I've come all the way here to show you. I'm your girl, Talk to Tongie. We're gonna do life together. Good evening, good evening, good evening, and welcome to another evening with your girl. I'm your friend Tongie. On this show, you know me as Tongie, right? Welcome to another edition of Talk to Tongie, and I'm smiling because I am so excited. I'm excited to be here. I'm excited because you allowed me to come into your boudoir, your living room, your bedroom, or wherever you are watching this show. I do not take it lightly or for granted, and I understand that you literally could be doing anything that you wanted to be doing this evening, but you chose to hang out with me, and I do not take it lightly or for granted. I do not. All right. We've got an amazing soul on the show this evening, and you probably know him. You know, I know him as Dr. Venus Cherry, and he says, call me RastaMan. I'm like, what? So I'm excited about that, and he's doing some things with a dear friend of mine. I call him a dear friend of mine, both of them, Ninja Dan and Dr. Stephen King, and they're with Rise St. Lucia. And when I tell you at Archibald, I definitely don't want to not mention his name, because he is one of those guys that you have that fireside chat with him and you're like, you know what, I get it now. I understand why you're doing what you're doing. You know, we talked a lot about stigmatization and what it does to people. You know, it's one of those things that it belittles, you know, it talks in a negative connotation, and we're gonna stop that, and we're gonna shed light on what we can do as a people. And I'm just excited, man. I'm excited to have an evening with this gentleman, because he is one that he doesn't take a lot of interviews, but you know, when he does an interview with you, you're like, okay, I'm real special here. So without further ado, let's bring on a gentleman that I just want to kind of sit down and take copious notes and see exactly what we can do again to move this movement, because it's I think it's a little bit more than a movement, and I'm going to allow him to take us there. But Dr. Cherry, RastaMan Cherry, is that good for you? I am so excited that you're here, sir. Thank you. And you know, the thank yous go deep, because you are literally doing something in the marketplace that's dispelling a lot of myths. And at this time in our lives, and you know what's going on the island, this beautiful country of St. Lucia, just absolutely gorgeous. You are in the thick of it. Yeah. So I'm going to ask you the proverbial question that I ask Ninja Dan, and I ask Archibald and Dr. King. How did you get here? Someone said by car. Or yeah, that's the obvious answer, right? But literally, how did you get here?
It's a life's journey. I'm here because it's just been my story, been the entire story. I'm not here by accident, I don't believe. With my journey and everything I've kind of been through, with my near-death experiences and just my upbringing in poverty and feeling and being mad at society and the government and the police and teachers and adults, and just feeling like, why me? You know, you look at your life and you're like, okay, so I was born into this family, of this poverty, in this country, for that, why?
Yeah.
Why couldn't I be born somewhere else, you know? Why that egg and that sperm had to be in this, you know? And you're mad at the world for a while. But what I've learned now is that everything is by design.
Yeah.
There is a reason, there is a purpose, and God don't make mistakes.
Come on.
God don't make mistakes. And when God has a plan for you, you might not see it.
Yes, sir.
You might not see it. You might just feel like you might feel disheartened at times. You might feel left out sometimes. You might even want to give up.
Yes, sir.
You might even want to give up. You might get to the point where you just feel like it doesn't really matter what tomorrow brings or what the outcome is. If it's jail, it's jail. If it's death, it's death. If it, you know, but if you hold on a little longer, if you just
come on,
don't give up.
Yes, sir.
If you just tell yourself, you know what?
Yeah.
I can be something. I can do something. This can't be how it ends. It might be how it has begun. But this can't be how it ends. Then you get to live another day and you get to make a little change, and all you need is that little bit of hope.
Come on.
That little bit of hope. That little bit of hope. And then you start to see things open, and then you start to realize that the doors that you were sad about when they were closed in your face, those doors were meant to close.
Come on.
And you should be grateful that these doors were closed, because they were just setting the stones on the path for you to walk on. And so that's why I'm here. That's how I got here.
That's how you
It's been a long journey. It's been one that I questioned so many times, but it's been beautiful. And people say that a lot. They say, I would not change anything if I could go back. And that's the truth. Every pain, every heartbreak, every circumstance, everything is by design. Amen. And that's why I'm here today.
I love it.
Yeah, that's it.
Wow.
That's it.
Did I tell you that you were in for a show? Ooh, wait, we just getting started, man. Wow. You know, you're taking a page from my book. I kid you not. You know, those were questions that I asked, you know, how why here? You know, why this? Wow, sir. We got to unpack a lot of that, all right? So you've come to the realization that your life has a purpose. And your purpose is real big. You know that, right? Yeah, it is, man. Yeah, it is. Tell me, if you will, how did you and the others that I've mentioned and you get to work with every day, how did you come up with such an incredible, I mean, you think about Rise St. Lucia, just the title, the name in and of itself, it gives me that oomph to get up, you know. And if I've fallen, and I've fallen so many times, what is the mission, your mission for such an incredible display of love organization?
Well, I am relatively new to Rise St. Lucia, regardless of being the current chairman. In fact, I started as the chairman. So I was thrown into the fire.
I love it.
Dr. King he saw my work. He saw what I was doing on an individual basis, and with my friends, Seaview Rastas on a Mission of Caring, who are my childhood friends that I grew up in Grosley with. And these young men saw me at my worst and at my best. So these young men shared their lunch with me, shared their breakfast with me. We played marbles together. We roast breadfruit and went and dived for fish and roast by the beach together. We fought each other. So we grew up together. And as we grew older, we all have dreadlocks. And at one point in time in our lives, we all smoked weed and drank, but we remained brothers. And as we grew older, we just felt like, regardless of where we were in life, there's a lot we could do to give back to our community. And this started by watching the younger generation who were doing things a little different. So yes, we grew up in the ghetto, and yes, we smoked and we drank, but we took school seriously, and we wanted to have an education, and we wanted to be better. But we saw a lot of young men that just didn't care, and we felt it was on us to be an example and to say, hey, Even if you drink or you smoke,
For sure.
you gotta have a job.
Yeah.
You gotta be tidy. You gotta take personal hygiene seriously. You gotta respect your elders. You have to be something in your community that people are proud of. And that's how we came together and continued our work. So Dr. King saw what we were doing.
Yeah.
And during COVID, we were raising funds to provide electronic devices for children because we saw that. Yeah, we were, and that's how we came together. That is how we came together.
You're not gonna rush this, RastaMan Cherry, Dr. Cherry. You just ain't gonna rush it. They're telling me we gotta go for break, so if you'll just stay tuned, we're gonna continue uncovering and rediscovering this gentleman's why. Be right back. Your girl, Dr. Tongie, you know, from the Talk to Tongie show. Are you ready to maximize your business exposure? Of course you are. Why not consider placing an ad right here with me on the Talk to Tongie show on DBS?
You are absolutely amazing, a breath of fresh air, a true light in the darkness, and I am so grateful for you because you are amazing, and you truly have added so much value to my life that I'm beyond grateful that God has allowed our paths to cross, and I feel honored to be able to make this video and to talk about you and give you your flowers and just mention the numerous ways that you have significantly impacted my life, because you have. And I don't know what my life would have been like without you, and I don't think I want to because you have planted seeds in me that have impacted the person that I am today, and I thank you for that. And you've also planted seeds that help catapult my relationship with Christ. You've shown me how to walk out being a kingdom citizen in a world that, you know, isn't necessarily conducive for that. And you've shown me what it's like to share the love of Christ, to be that light, and to share that joy and that peace and that comfort. And I thank you for that, because it gets hard, but you are such a warrior and such a true inspiration that you've helped me find the tools to make that possible. And I'm forever grateful. I love you so much. Thank you for everything.
This is Dr. Tongie. I'm from a little town called Columbus, Mississippi, and I've come all the way here to show you exactly how you can live abundantly. Fear is nothing. You hear me? You can do anything you put your mind to. I'm your girl, Dr. Tongie. We're going to do life together. And we are back. Thank you so very, very much for hanging out with me, your friend Tongie, and this amazing soul that I've got the privilege of being here with this evening, none other than RastaMan Cherry. I just like that, you know, I really do. But seriously, you're the epitome of what hope looks like, and I need you to hear that. I really do, because you're walking in your gifts, you're serving others with your gifts, your talents, and your skill set, and you've not always been there. For those who may be watching, we are an interactive show, so I'd love to hear you from I'm about to say Facebook. Yep, we're Facebook Live, so I'll definitely be engaging there. WhatsApp, of course, the number is on the screen. It's going to be on the screen, and you can call in too and make your contributions. But I want to hear from you, sir, you were in a place where you were sharing, right? You're growing up, you're sharing. Why? What moved you to compassion. You know, when we have compassion for others, it causes us to do right. Why does the next generation even matter? You said you saw the generation and they were not doing things appropriately like you were reared, right? Why does that matter? Or why did it matter?
I mean, because we all have our part to play, and we all have our role to play in our communities, in our country. I think I understood where they were coming from because I was once like them.
Okay.
It's like you feel like sometimes people say things to you like you must end up in prison, or you won't live for too long, or you're ugly, or you're this or you're that.
Jeez.
People body shame, and bullying been happening to children for a long time,
Sure.
especially poor children.
For
and
sure.
so I know all too well what they've been through, and not all of us can handle and deal with
For sure.
this type of adversity
Right.
on a level to rise above it and to do well. So it's important to me, especially the people I'm talking about when I say the younger generation. I'm the first of 7 kids from my mom, so the younger generation are my siblings I'm talking about.
For sure.
I have witnessed firsthand the loss of a younger brother to gun violence.
Oh, I'm so
You
sorry.
know, so
sir.
it's not when I talk from a place of being there, having felt it personally. Sometimes we don't, it hasn't hit home,
Right.
but I've been there, I've seen it, I've felt it, I've seen my mom, and my mom died unhappy because she lost her last son. You know, so I know all too well that guidance is needed, and
Yeah.
I also know that I am where I am today because members of my community cared enough
Amen.
to lend a hand, to give something to eat, to give some old clothes to wear, to give
yeah.
broken toys that the kids no longer
Come
played
on.
with to it. So I understood all too well the gifts,
Come on.
the small blessings
Yeah.
that helped me overcome.
For sure.
You know, so
For sure.
I honestly believe in opportunity. I believe that if you give people an opportunity, no one wants to be hungry.
Come on.
Wants to not have a nice place to sleep, or nice clothes on them, or to smell good, or to.
Yeah.
But sometimes, in reality, they
Yeah.
just can't. And so, for me, that's why it was important, because these are people I'm talking about, my cousins, my friends, my family, we know these people, and so you don't just sit by and say,
For sure.
I just know if we came together and we provide a little help,
Come
a little help, it can be better. And so this is where the compassion is coming from, and because I experienced it firsthand.
Yeah. Come on.
And growing up in Grozile, someone would give you a hand of banana, someone would give you a plate of food. Like when I was leaving primary school, and it's lunchtime and I'm going home knowing that there's nothing. Sometimes before I get home, I've already been offered some food here, some juice there. It was that kind of the village raise a child community, and so I grew up on that. And honestly, that is the only reason I survived. And so, if I now, in the position that I am now, don't do however little or however much I can, then why did I receive all the opportunity, the help that I receive? And I'm not here to protest or profess
For sure.
perfection. I'm human. I make mistakes. I get people angry. I've done bad things that I'm not proud of. I've been down the road. I've been there. I've been arrested. You know, and when I say I've been arrested for stealing. I'm not ashamed to say
Come on, man. Your testimony.
because I was arrested for stealing a tin of tuna fish because I was hungry. So when people hear me doing stuff like peanut butter pantry and stuff like that, understand who I am and why it comes from here, because being arrested for stealing a small tin of tuna fish is not, can break certain people.
For sure.
But for me, it was kind of like the goodness that the owner of the place, may he rest in peace, Mr. Volney, showed when he came to the police station to see who was arrested for stealing from his store. First, he was surprised that it was me, disappointed, but he gave an opportunity. He said, if you're struggling, you can come clean my yard for me after school on a weekend. Then you can get anything you want in the
Are you
store.
serious?
So you should see me. I became an instant
But of
gardener.
course.
Instant gardener, to clean his yard, and just to earn that way. I used to. Anyone that knows me from the north knows From age 9, I was selling coconuts in Grand Riviere, Marie Sale, Grosley.
No
So I've been a hustler my whole life.
All right now.
Just on a different hustle, and I just want the young people to understand that
For sure.
there is a way. It might be the hard way.
Yeah.
It might be difficult. You may want to give up every now and then.
Yeah.
But I also learned something early on in life. The rich people that we look up to, with the big house and the car,
Yeah.
they have problems too.
You sure do. Yes,
They
we
have
do.
stress too. So while some here probably wondering where I'm going to get a meal,
Come on.
they're wondering how they're going to pay the bank for that loan. For
Man,
that. So
come
everybody
on.
have their
Come
own thing.
on.
So it's a matter of not being envious of anyone, being content. Because the problem with us sometimes, we are not content with what we
There
have.
you have it.
Because we're so focused on what the next person
Come on.
has,
Yeah.
that we fail to see the blessings in front of us, while someone else with less than us
Come on.
are looking at what we have and saying, oh, I just wish if only I could have that. And so we have to learn to be grateful for the little that we have. I'm not saying you get so content with it that you don't work for more,
For sure.
because there's always more to get. There's
Absolutely.
always another level to climb.
Yes.
Because I believe sometimes the more you have,
Yeah.
the more you can help.
Come on.
Because if I had more right now,
Uh-huh.
I promise you I'll be doing a lot more. And so that's just me. I'm gonna make mistakes. I know that as life goes on,
sure.
I'm going to make mistakes.
sure.
There's gonna be things that I may have to say I'm sorry for. There may be things that I may have to seek forgiveness. But I try every day to be better.
Amen.
And that's what it is. And I hope that I'm an example for the young men to see that even if you come from the ghetto, even if when it rains you have to shift the bucket to catch it right there.
Come on.
Even if you had to add a small teaspoon of bleach in a bucket of water from the river for y'all to drink. Even if it's rice and rice, sometimes no salt, you can make it. You know, like when most people know I live in the US. I live in Delaware. I work in Philadelphia. I work for the Children's Hospital. You see, that's my first job. Sorry. I work for Penn Medicine in Philadelphia as the senior instructional designer. And I'm working from home.
Oh,
So I'm here in St. Lucia. So Monday to Friday, I'm at work like a regular person
For
on my
sure.
computer, doing my work, and then I take time in between to do my charity and do everything else that I do. And then I look at myself and I said, this is the same young man
Come on.
that couldn't pay bus for 25 cents, because there was a time when bus was 25 cents
Okay.
from Grosley to Marisil and so forth. And I couldn't afford it. And the bus drivers would either give me a ride or people would give me a ride. I would hike. Then I have everything I need in this world right now. You name the most luxurious vehicle you've seen in St. Lucia, I promise you I have driven it, I've owned it in the US.
Wow.
From BMW X6 to Infinity to my own home to all those things.
Yeah.
I'm that same young man from the ghetto.
Yeah.
But I also know that this is not to brag or to boast or to show off or to make it seem like I'm better than anyone.
For sure.
This is God saying, look where I took you,
Come on.
look where you are, and now help the young RastaMan Cherry
There you go.
to become, to believe, like you said, to hope.
Yeah.
And that's what I do. I mean, I could be anywhere in the world right now working because my job is working from home. But
Yeah.
this is home.
This is home.
And this is where I believe I can contribute the most. Now, everyone might not agree with all my methods or my style or my opinion. Some might mistake confidence for arrogance.
Oh, who cares about that?
Not me. Definitely not me.
Yeah.
Because you can't be everyone's cup of tea.
No, you cannot.
People will have their biases without ever meeting you. They might just hear a story. They don't know you're part of it. And sometimes I'm get to the point now, I don't care about opinions and for me to correct that or for me to say, no, I want you to hear my version. I want you to hear my story.
Talk
No.
about it.
If you can't see who I am, if you don't see the work I'm doing,
Yeah.
because sometimes I've noticed something.
Yeah.
If I'm doing something, certain people will not applaud it.
Oh, for sure.
Just because it's me doing it. If someone else does the exact same thing, you watch them talk about it like Jesus came and just gave them the word. And that's okay.
I know.
That's okay with me.
Yeah, man.
As long as the people I'm doing it for
Yeah.
benefit. When I get stopped in the street, a person that I've never met or I don't know, and they say to me, thank you, and I say, for what? They say, oh, I received a hamper. Oh, I received a tablet. Oh, I received some books at the book drive. Oh, the shoes that I was the person that called and you said, go to South and pick up a pair of shoes for my child.
Yeah.
I'm good. I sleep well.
Yeah.
So all the noise and the naysayers and he this and he that and he's doing it for... They don't understand. I have 2 phones for a reason.
Yeah.
My WhatsApp, my Facebook, my Messenger. I get hundreds of messages daily, and I'm not exaggerating.
I believe you.
And sometimes I feel like I need a therapist to talk to, because when you read some of these stories, when you talk to some of these families and what they're going through, what I thought was bad growing up is paradise compared to what some people are going through in 2024, right here in this country that I love.
Jesus.
There are people still with mud floors, with the children have to sleep on piece of cloth on the floor. And we here worried about which minister said have the nicest catchphrase in the House of Parliament.
Shame on us, yeah?
Shame on us, because we are not concerned about the issues.
Right.
If you watch this country right now, they don't care about issues, actual issues. They care about if they're pro-yellow or pro-red.
Yeah.
And if they believe you are pro their party, then they like you.
Yeah.
And if they believe you are against it, then you can give them Jesus right there saying, I'm ready for yourself, and they don't want it. They don't care because it's coming from you.
Wow.
And that's always going to be that's the sad state that we're in right now.
Yeah, for sure.
And I refuse to be brought down with it. Now, I'm different. My situation, like I said, God was building me for a reason.
For sure.
I know what it's like to be hungry and to be okay with being hungry.
Yeah.
I know what it's like to be unemployed. Yeah. To be okay being unemployed. So the things that scare most St. Lucians don't scare me.
Come on.
I'm not scared to speak out against any administration because they can't affect my bottom line. Because if I don't have a regular job today or tomorrow, my hands are mine. I will find something to do to feed myself and my family. The problem we have here now is so many people are in positions, are in politically appointed positions.
For sure.
That they can't speak out even when they want to.
For sure.
Now most times what they do is they send the information they know to me and saying, you speak out on that. And I'd be mad at them. Somebody say, no, I want you to speak out on it because it belongs, St. Lucia belongs to us. It doesn't belong to Philip Jip, yeah? Doesn't belong to Alan Chasney. Doesn't belong to UWP. Doesn't belong to SLP. It belongs to every single person born on this rock.
I could just sit at your feet, sir. I'm sitting here, and I'm so glad that the cameras are not on me right now because I'm literally in tears. I swore I was not going to cry. I was not going to sweat. But how can you not feel some kind of way from what you're saying? And I've been here 3 years now, and I've been, had the privilege and the honor of meeting some amazing little people and their families in different communities. I don't call them villages, I call them communities because they're communities to me. They're sustainable. And to hear you talk so passionately about those who have less than, and now I get it. I got it before, but I get it now. I understand Rise St. Lucia. I understand the mission without you even having to bullet point it for me. I do believe that this country is an amazing country. I fell in love with it. I've adopted St. Lucia as my own. I hail from Los Angeles, and someone said, you're going to leave LA? I'm like, man, I am on the first thing smoking, because here I've discovered a piece of heaven. I really have. And yes, some of the conditions, they break your heart, but I'm looking at all of us collectively and saying, if we just roll up our sleeves and just get busy being somebody's hands, being somebody's feet, my hat goes off to you. It does, because you what you're saying is weighty, RastaMan. You know this. It's weighty, it's gravity. But to whom much is given, much is required. And he's given you so much that you've got so much to do.
Yeah.
And you have so much to do. You speak about some of the things that you're doing now in the community, and I want to hang out, if I can, in that area. Tell me about this peanut butter pantry.
Yeah. Again, a brainchild of myself and my friends that grew up in the ghetto. Again, like I said, and funny enough, majority of them had more than me, and so they helped me. They would give me a meal, and they would share their whatever they had with me, and their marbles with me, and so forth. And just coming together to see how we can assist, because when we spoke to some of those young men as to why they're not in school and what's going on, it's because their parents don't have anything to give them. They don't have a meal to give them. And it was more like, kind of like, what can we do? And the peanut butter pantry was just launched initially out of our pockets. Initially, it was all out of our own pockets. We just saved some money together and started it, and now it's grown. Initially, it was created for the district of Grosley, which I'm from.
Okay.
But how do you tell someone who traveled from Viewfort, or Soufrière, or Canries, or Micoud, or Choiseul, and showed up at the pantry that I can't help you when there is food inside there?
Thank you.
You can't do that.
Yeah.
You can't do that. And so this has become island-wide, and it's been like 3 years now, going on 4.
Yeah.
And I got to say a special thanks to Corporate St. Lucia who came on board.
Oh, wow.
And we can't do it alone.
No, you can't.
That's the thing. Sometimes people feel like you need to be a millionaire to do. No. You need to have an idea.
Come on.
You need to have a vision. And you need to, never seen that movie called Field of Dreams with Kevin Costner?
Yes, I have.
Build it and they will come.
They will come.
You build it.
Yeah.
And you put in your effort, time and energy, and you work towards it. Once people start to see the value of it, people will come on board. And there are people from all walks of life helping sustain this pantry. This pantry is no longer a Venus Cherry or the Seaview Boys or Rise St. Lucia initiative.
Yeah.
This pantry is a global initiative. I have people from Canada, from London, from the US, from Barbados, from Islands Regional, always sending barrels, funding, everything towards the pantry.
Are you
Everything
serious?
towards the pantry. I can tell you, West Indies shipping come on board so much to the pantry that they clear all of our stuff from customs for us.
Yeah.
They hand deliver it to whichever location we need them to drop it. I'm being serious. Not only that, they've placed beans at their locations with a big sign on it that says Rice St. Lucia Peanut Butter Pantry.
Yeah.
So while people are checking their stuff and clearing out their stuff, they throw something in there. So this is no longer my thing. This is now global.
How about that?
And the best thing about this, today is the official launch of the Peanut Butter Pantry branch in Viewfort.
Oh, stop that.
Today.
You should see everyone in the studio excited about that, man. How about that? Congratulations.
I'm telling you, today. And it's like, this, for me, when I sit back and I watch this, I say to myself, remember who you are.
Yeah.
You are that little hungry boy from Grosley.
Come on.
Remember that.
Remember that.
Don't ever forget that. You are the little boy that grew up with a single mom with 7 kids and all slept on the floor with not much to eat, no electricity, no running water. Jesus. A woman that just worked hard every day washing and cleaning for rich families. This is who you are. As long as I never forget that about myself,
yes, sir,
you will see and hear big things about me. I can promise you that.
I believe
because it will never stop. Because that pantry, I promise you, my goal is to have one of these in every district. I'm talking about Choiseul, Soufrière, Canries, Ancillary, Barbono, Dennery, Micoud, everywhere.
I love it.
Because food is essential.
Yes. Yes,
it's essential.
Yes, it is.
It is essential. It is essential. And if we can give hope, is the word you use.
Hope.
Hope to people. if we can provide kids a meal before they go to school,
Come on.
I can promise you,
Yep.
the students we will start pushing out.
Yep.
How can you really expect me to understand Pythagoras' theorem on an empty stomach?
You won't.
How?
You will not.
It's already hard as it is on
Yes,
a
it
full
is.
stomach.
All right.
And so that's where the peanut butter pantry is. And like I said, it's a brainchild of my friends and myself.
Oh.
But it has now become a global thing.
thing.
We have help from all over.
Oh, Dr. Cherry.
All
I know you
over.
said don't call you Dr. Cherry, RastaMan. Dadgummit. We've got to go to a quick commercial break, but I'm just, I could just take off my shoes now. We'll be right back so we can continue doing what we do best on this show. Just being who we are. Be right back. It's your girl, Dr. Tongie, from the Talk to Tongie show. Are you ready to maximize your business exposure? Of course you are. Why not consider placing an ad right here with me on the Talk to Tongie show on DBS?
My dearest Tongie, you have been a person who has impacted my life in so many ways. You have added such value and love to my life, and I hold you in high regard to that. I say thank you. Thank you for being you. Thank you for showing up when the chips were down. You have been my rock, my sister, my prayer partner, and my friend. Thank you for sharing your children. We have a special son together, Morgan. But you have also shared Taisha and Tyrone with me. And I love them as if they were my own. My daughter Megan loves you as well. And she calls you Mama T. And I'm sure you know that. Well, people would wonder, how are we related? And how do we share such immeasurable love? So let me tell you. I know this is unheard of love, and I wish everyone could experience the love that we share. We are family. Tongie was my husband's first wife. He is now deceased. But when I say this woman and her family stood by me and mine. Whew. When Max Scott, who we refer to as Terry, because that's always been his nickname, when he departed this life, who was my husband, Tongie's first husband, she came to my house with support in tow. Tongie, Stacy, and Taisha. We put the devil on notice that night. We prayed for strength, understanding that surpasses all others, and healing. That night, God delivered. He gave me what I wanted, and He gave me what I needed. Years ago when we met, we bonded right away. Never an unkind word from her. Never a falling out. Never across anything. I have called on you, Tongie, so many times. And you've been there every time. I'll never forget the calls, the prayers in the wee hours of the morning for anything, the financial support, the calls just to keep me in the loop, the birthday calls, the songs, of course all of our texts, and the visits. They've all been special. And you, my friend, sister, I love you. Tongie Scott, my hat is off to you, and I love you forever. Till we speak again. Take care.
This is Dr. Tongie. I'm from a little town called Columbus, Mississippi, and I've come all the way here to show you exactly how you can live abundantly. Fear is nothing. You hear me? You can do anything you put your mind to. I'm your girl, Dr. Tongie. We're going to do life together. Didn't I tell you that we were in for a treat this evening? Ay, ay, ay. Thank you so very much for hanging out with us. I'm your friend Tongie. I've got an amazing man in studio, RastaMan Cherry, and I just love saying that, I do. He is teaching. I mean, I feel like I'm sitting in a master class, man, and I'm taking these notes, and it's just it feels so good to be in the presence of someone who's so passionate, not only about life, but serving others. You know, it's just, what a call. I am grateful for you being here. I know you're busy, but for you to take time to say, you know what, I'll hang out with you. I do not take it for granted. I do not. Now, with everything that you're doing, did you encounter it being this big?
No. I mean, I've been, because of how I grew up, once I migrated to the US, when I started working in 2006, I worked for the Children's Hospital of Philadelphia as an instructional designer.
Okay.
I immediately started sending, you know, whatever I could to friends and family.
Okay.
It's the natural order of things. Even if, like, sometimes, because when you first start working, the salary is not that much.
Yeah.
You have rent to pay, you have all your regular bills, insurance, and so, you know, even a vehicle mortgage, but you still try to send whatever you can. And shoes for my friends' kids, my siblings, my nieces and nephews. So that was me at my level, and feeling okay within myself that I can do that. And you know, when COVID hit, I came home in 2019, and right around the time when they shut down the airports and everything, I happened to be here. And this is when my job said, well, you know, if you're there and you're still producing at a high level, and all right, I guess we can run with that. You know? And so it gave me a unique opportunity to be employed in the US, but be at home. And so, you know, we hit the ground running, because the moment you step outside, and you step out of your comfort zone, and you step out of your gated community, or you put down the window from your tint and your AC, and you try to feel the heat that is on the backs of so many. There is no way you feel that, and you are a genuinely caring person, and there is not a desire to make a difference, to make a change. We also have the mentoring program and the behavioral change, conflict resolution and behavioral change program in the schools. Ninja, myself, Dr. King, we've done about 90 schools so far, 90. And you tell them your life story and what you've been through, and you hope to inspire them and give them hope. But then there's that one or two that wants to talk to you afterwards. And they're like, I've seen you on television, I hear what you do, and I say, we need help. I need help. And you look at those young people and you feel like, if we just nurture them. Too many kids have to be adults so early to take care of themselves and their family that they don't get to enjoy life.
That childhood.
They don't get to enjoy their childhood. You know, they find themselves in so many situations that, Tongie, I can tell you this, sometimes I read a story or somebody reaches out to me and I cry immediately. Because you like, man, how does that person survive daily? When you go to the different communities and you see how people live, and people tell you, come in. You come to drop some groceries for them and they say, no, I want you to come in because I want you to see that I reached out to you because I really need this. And then you go in and you know, it's just you're just like, man. And so I'm not making an excuse for why some young men resort to crime. That's never an excuse.
Yeah.
But the conversation needs to be had. So what is leading them down that path? There has to be that conversation. And I listen sometimes to people who have it all. Just say the nicest things. People need to invest in themselves. Those people are lazy. They don't want to work. And it sounds good.
Yeah.
And in some instances, they are correct. But it's one thing to say something.
Yeah.
And it's a different thing to look at it practically and say, well, tell me now. Break this down for me. How does someone who's making $3, $4, $5 an hour invest in themselves?
Come on.
You say go back to school? Okay. Free $4 an hour. No generational wealth. No family to give them a pot to piss in. 1 or 2 kids in the household already. $3, $4 an hour. How do they invest in themselves? It's one thing to say it and to sound intelligent saying it in your nice suit and tie, knowing that every month direct deposit goes in your account because you have your nice job. And then the same people, when you talk about minimum or livable wage, will be the same people that say, oh, it won't work, it can't work. Business owners will take too much of a hit. So what about this person you're telling me that should invest in themselves, making $3, $4, $5 an hour?
Right.
How do they invest in themselves? They don't have any assets. There's no generational wealth. No bank in their right mind will give them a loan.
Right.
How do they invest in themselves? So you see, it's easy for us to just stay on our high horse and look down upon people and say, I could say, well, look at me, I'm RastaMan Cherry, I'm from the ghetto, my mother was poor, I made it so they can make it. I would be ignoring the fact that I only made it because people did for me what I'm trying to do right now. We can't leave that part of the equation out because then the equation is incomplete.
Absolutely.
You have to remember that whoever you are in this life, rich or poor, somebody helped you along the way. There are rich people right now who didn't have the grades needed for a particular job, but they got it because somebody knew somebody and spoke on their behalf. Their parents is Mr. So-and-so that went to the bank and said, my daughter, my son need a job, and they got it. Now, they may have seized that opportunity and done well and climbed the ladder. Bravo to them. But let's not forget the part of the equation where you were not qualified. But because of who you know, you got that job. So many kids who are qualified don't get the scholarships that are available to go to Taiwan or Japan or wherever the scholarships are, because somebody in the ministries who has the know and sees the paper way early says to their friends and family, hey, send me your stuff way in advance before it's out there for the public, for the poor people to get access and then you ever notice when they send those things out, you have 1 week or a couple days by which to send in your application, knowing full well that you as a child who may not be as intelligent may need some assistance in filling out his application. Even at my stage, sometimes we see certain applications, we're like, man, I need a lawyer to help me with this.
Wow.
So how do we not expect them to need assistance? 1 week for them to fill an application, knowing full well that most of the sorts are already filled because we've already given it to our friends and family.
For sure.
And most times it's people that already have, people are already wealthy, but the children need to go to this prestigious school for the cycle continues. So we talk all this talk, and they're quick to say, well, I survived the ghetto one. Yeah, but how did you survive? Because you didn't just survive on your own. Someone helped you. I'm where I am today. Because I think I've received the most help in this world. I am being honest with you. From a plate of food to broken toys to someone seeing it fit. Let me give you a quick story.
For sure.
I failed common entrance twice.
Okay.
I failed common entrance both times. In our classroom, there were 32 students at primary school. RastaMan Cherry came last almost every term. because my mother couldn't afford books. I didn't go to school every day. I didn't even care about school.
Right.
My teachers used to say to me, you are so intelligent. You don't come to school, but when you come, you pick up stuff immediately. But I didn't care. I was more concerned with what my siblings are going to eat when I get home tonight.
Oh, come on.
You understand this?
Yes,
I was fortunate to make it to Rock Hall Senior Primary School. And let me tell you how God works.
Come on.
I need you to know this. Rock Hall Senior Primary School, when the grades were called out, I initially did not have the grades to go to Rock Hall. Initially. Timing is so that Sir Ira Simmons and George Charles were being opened at the same time.
Come on.
Which means that there were now more slots for children who would have occupied Rock Hall to go to those secondary schools. So they were moving it up.
Come on.
And so as a result, later on, like a couple of weeks later, Mr. Solomon Alexis, my teacher, is driving around Grosley searching for us to let us know that, hey, by the way, school is not over. You're not going to stand, you're not going to what we have been standard 5 at the time. You are going to Rock Hall. I'm like, who going where? Who what? I can remember my grade was 107. But at the time, the grading system was different. 107 was nothing.
Gotcha.
And so because of the timing, God's timing, those children would have occupied the Rock Hall space and I would have stayed in primary school and they were moving to different schools. I made it to Rock Hall. Opportunity. Rock Hall teachers are my lifesavers. They saw me, I was this little short, freckled, big ass, troublesome young man. And they just said, you know what? This is it. This is him. And they all poured into me. Every single teacher at Rock Hall poured into me. Who would photocopy the chapters for me chapter by chapter. Who would give me free lessons.
Yes, sir.
And you know what they said to me?
What they say?
I don't know if they lied or if they meant it, but it was motivating. They said, we believe, or I believe, you're the smartest child in this school.
I love it.
And you need to prove that to me. Tongie, do you know that if I got a 97 on an exam, and it wasn't the highest score, I want to see the paper of the person that got the highest score. And I want to compare each question, question by question. And if a teacher made the error of giving you a question correct, and they gave it to me wrong, oh, you best believe that's going to change. You see, they got me so motivated and into education, into school, that I didn't feel comfortable coming second. And that's what I came. When we sat common middle 3 years later, I went from always coming last in class, failing common entrance both times, to coming second in this country of St. Lucia.
Come on.
Coming second. Go look at, call the Ministry of Education, tell them pull up the Rock Hall, pull up the common middle results. Venus RastaMan Cherry came second with a grade of 128.3 or something like that. Euban Smith, my good friend, came first at 1.133. I can never forget that.
And you remember that.
Oh yeah, because you went from coming last in class.
On, man. Come on.
You went from seeing all your friends in primary school go to secondary school and you go into Rock Hall, and you know initially you were not scheduled to go to Rock Hall. So this is my story.
That's your story.
People poured into me.
And that's why you do it.
And from that, even more, when I passed common middle, to assigned to Castries Comprehensive Secondary School. My mom has no idea where she's getting money to send me to Castries Comprehensive Secondary School.
Okay.
My past teacher at Grosley Primary, teacher Alicia, one who gave me toothbrush if I needed one, food in school, and she would put me to sit in a corner to eat where no students could see me so they can make fun of the fact that she had to bring lunch for me.
Come on.
May she rest in peace. She approached Corporate St. Lucia and got me a scholarship. So my first scholarship was with COTS. To go to Castries Comprehensive. COTS and Cable and Wireless came together to give me a scholarship. That was from her. My mother had no idea how to approach anybody to get scholarship for me.
For sure.
So that's people pouring into me. So when you see me out there pouring into people, understand that Venus Cherry is who he is today by design, because people poured into him. I went to Safa. Now, them times you feel in yourself. Because now you have uniform. They give you a nice shoe to wear. You start to buy your little oil at Just Dreads for $3, your little Ras oil, and you start to put it nice. For the first time in your life, girls start to say, hey, cute. You start to feel it. You want to cut your hair, sit where you. Your mother cannot tell you you're not going to school today. You will walk to school if you have to, because you want to hear it. You want to feel it. You understand? So that's my story. went to
my
Safa,
gosh.
left Safa, and went to work for my uncle as a tour guide.
Oh my God.
Midget Pierre. Big up Midget Pierre. I used to run and play football for St. Lucia. So Windward Island Games, that was my thing.
Huh.
When the scholarships were happening in Cuba, Midget Pierre worked his tail off to get me a scholarship to go to school in Cuba. I attended Escuela Internacional de Educación Física y Deporte.
Wow.
I spent like 6 months in Cuba,
Yeah.
and I got a scholarship to the United States of America.
Come on, man.
I went to America. I attended Bloomsburg University of Pennsylvania.
Wow.
I graduated for 3.89 GPA.
Come on, Rasta.
I got
Dr. Cherry.
I got offered a job with the Children's Hospital of Philadelphia 3 months before I graduated, October 11th, 2005,
Wow.
which was also the last day I smoked or drank, because I knew I had to pass a drug test. And because I have dreadlocks,
Yeah.
I'm from the islands, I have an accent,
Stigmatism.
I know that if they're gonna randomly drug test someone, it's gonna be me. And I'm not
Every
about to
time.
lose that job that I have to take care of my whole family to smoke a joint.
Hello.
So I've quit smoking altogether. And even now
Wow.
that marijuana's relaxed
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
US and nobody's checking for that,
Yeah.
I still don't drink or smoke. And when people see me,
Yeah.
they think, he must smoke, he must drink. I don't.
See? Stick.
I'm just me.
You're just
and I'm gonna
you.
continue to be me. Then if you like me,
Yeah.
great.
I do. I
But
do.
if you don't like me, I'm
cares,
okay
right?
with that.
I love it.
That's just me in general. And so I know a lot of people are not gonna like me. They're gonna find me arrogant.
okay.
They're gonna
No,
find,
no.
And
No.
that's okay.
That's
Because
okay.
I believe
Yes.
my work
Yep.
speaks for itself.
That's it.
And if my work doesn't affect you or benefit you, and you see no value in, that's okay.
Right.
Talk to the mother who the child did well at school because I provided school books, or I provided a tablet, or I provided them shoes, and they call me and say,
Yeah.
my child, and then that's a true story I'm giving you.
Yeah. I believe.
My child came first in the South.
Wow.
And I said, no, you're joking. And they said, no, I'm dead serious. Came first in the South. And I said, I got to meet him now.
Yeah.
And I meet him and I say, man, what else can I do?
Wow.
And I make a couple calls,
Yeah.
and someone said, we'll give him a full scholarship.
I'm done with that. Hold on. They're screaming. Break. I'm like, but why? If you are enjoying this, would you drop a line or two? And if you're not, drop a line or two anyway. I'm like Dr. Cherry now. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. Hey, it's your girl, Dr. Tongie. You know, from the Talk to Tongie show. Are you ready to maximize your business exposure? Of course you are. Why not consider placing an ad right here with me on the Talk to Tongie show on DBS?
Hey. You know, Dr. Tongie is a good friend of mine. She has been a good role model, a good person to look up to, and she's just full of life, full of love, and she shares that with everyone, and she lives true to her principles. She has just been one person who has got your back always through all forms of life, and I'm very grateful that I've got the chance to meet her. You know, love you, Dr. T.
This is Talk to Tongie. I'm from a little town called Columbus, Mississippi, and I've come all the way here to show you exactly how you can live abundantly. Fear is nothing. You hear me? You can do anything you put your mind to. I'm your girl, Talk to Tongie. We're going to do life together. All right, we are back. Man, oh, St. Lucia, how I love thee. Thank you so very much yet again for allowing us to come into your home, your life. I pray that we are literally getting that spot. It's like a good back scratcher, and he gets that spot. And you're like, yeah, right there. I pray we're doing that for you. I'm hanging out this evening with none other than RastaMan, but I gotta call him Dr. Cherry, RastaMan Cherry. I am so smitten. I want to do more. You know, you got the more effect. I don't know if you know that or not, but you live your life from the inside out. And when you meet someone that does that, you just want to, I'm rooting for you. I'm cheering. I'm praying. I'm screaming from the rafters because you are making a difference. You are making a difference now in the lives of so many. Right before we went to break, RastaMan was telling me about something he did really, really special for someone that needed. You know, and my mom taught me that when you're giving, you never look for it in return. You just give, right? What did you do that changed the trajectory of this amazing man and his family?
Well, you know, again, in my history, just yesterday I posted a picture of the home I grew up in. And the room we're in right now is
Yeah.
a lot bigger than it.
Wow.
But somehow my mom housed 7 of us. Plus, it seemed like every week she would bring someone else to live with us.
Yeah.
You know, you feel like you're the poorest person on the planet. And then your mom comes with more mouths to feed and you're like, what are you doing?
Right,
Where are they going to sleep? There's no space. Every night I got to wake up with my sister's food in my mouth. This one is rolling on me. But my mom was like that. However little we had, she always felt like we had enough to share. And so I guess it's just who I am. And, you know, just recently I had a project in December.
Yeah.
A young man out of prison, making a change in his life. Him and his daughter needed a place to stay.
Wow.
So I started this whole campaign to build a house for him, to break down what he had, which wasn't conducive. And we did. And then I can tell you, you won't believe how this worked out. I started it.
Yeah.
And Cots, Nemo, Raj,
Come on.
M&C Home Depot, people in New York, everybody came on board. This Junior Goodrich Construction.
Wow.
So I started it. Junior sent his workers to build a house free of charge. Somebody gave the electricity to do that. Somebody gave a fridge. Somebody gave a stove. Somebody gave a bed. Somebody gave a pillow. Somebody. I mean, at the end of the day. So we did some fundraising. I came out of pocket personally because I also believe when you are doing something like this and I'm asking you to invest in it.
There you go.
I need to invest in it as well.
Absolutely.
Not just my time, effort, and energy, but whatever extra I have, once I've taken care of I should be able to put that.
Absolutely.
And we build a beautiful home for him and his family.
Wow.
Beautiful home. Beautiful home. And in November, we're gonna do it again. Here why? I have a team in Canada, right, St. Lucia, Canada. They're having a golf fundraising tournament.
Come on.
In June, which I'm flying over to.
For sure.
We're raising funds. They've already booked their ticket. 6 of them are coming down.
Oh, come on.
In November, they're spending a week in St. Lucia. And a lucky family is going to get a house.
Do you hear this?
A lucky family is going to get a home. So we're going to build another home this year. And we hope we can do it every year.
And you're going
I know
to.
It's small,
man.
but
Come
it's
on.
the way. So I want to say this on your show first.
You hear this, right? That's your camera
November,
right there.
My team from Canada, Alison and Brent, big up yourselves, big up the whole family, Pixie, everybody, team. They're coming down in November. Tickets already booked. And we're going to build a home for another family.
Oh, wow. They're telling me wrap it up. I'm like, what? That's our time. Oh, dear God. Where do I start? Where do you start when you've literally not only changed the trajectory of so many people here in St. Lucia, but you have made such an impact in my own life. I was having a conversation before we signed off with a gentleman on yesterday, and he got a little frustrated with me, and I get it now, sir. He was saying, but I need you to do more. I need you to do more. And I kept thinking, but what more can I do? Man, every moment in this life counts. You are the epitome of what I get to study, what I get to read about every day, and I am so grateful. Please tell me that you'll come back on the show. Please. And I don't normally beg, Dr. King, Ninja Dan. But you.
I can do you one better.
You.
I promise you I'll be back, but I can promise you,
Yes.
if you want in November, when my team comes here, they can be on your show.
All right, now you heard that, right? Okay, Linda, we're gonna bring more folk here. Wow.
Yeah,
how can people stay engaged with you? How can they assist you? How can they roll up their sleeves and say, you know what, I want in too?
Well, for me, one thing about me, I believe in transparency. I believe in, and sometimes people say, oh my God, why is he on Facebook show? Because if you give me $1, I want that whole dollar to go to the person in need.
That's
My organization, we don't even have an office. So we don't have overhead. We go out of pocket for our little expense, our gas, myself, Dr. King, Dr. Bird,
Yeah.
Davis,
Yeah.
Ninja, we do that because we want every penny that comes our way to go to people in need. So, for example, for the pantry, if you want to donate for the pantry, you don't even have to come to us.
Wow.
You can go directly to Glass Motors Supermarket. You can say, I have X amount of money I want to put on the Rice and Lucia account for groceries.
Come on.
When that money is there, Glass Motors will put the groceries together and deliver it to us at the pantry. We have the same setup with Grins Wholesale in Beaufort.
Yeah.
You can go directly to them.
Wow. Did you hear that?
Directly to them. You see that we believe that transparency is key. And if I give you $1 for something,
For sure.
I want to know that it's used for that.
Absolutely.
And so you can email Rice and Lucia. Rice and Lucia Facebook page is on there. Also, you
Yeah.
can donate on our page. We now updated our page. But also, you can always ask us to show you exactly what is done.
Come
If you
on
wanna-
now.
We're
All
open
right.
to that. Listen, when I go deliver stuff,
Yeah.
we show the whole movement. We show from the time I received the barrels, I show you I
Yeah.
received it. I show you unpacking it. I show. It's just what we do. So it's open. I believe Rice is bigger than myself.
Yes.
It's bigger than Dr. King. It's bigger than Dr. Bird. It's bigger than Ninja. It's a movement.
It's a movement.
And I'm also the kind of person,
Yeah.
you don't have to donate to my charity. You don't. Just help somebody.
Come on, man.
You think I'm going to say to you, Tongie,
Yeah.
why didn't you give me that $5 so
Come
I
on.
can give it to that man?
Right.
But why you have to come for me, Tongie?
Ha.
Just give it to him.
Just give it to him.
So if you know somebody in your community in need of food,
Aye.
don't wait to say, let me give it to Rice and Lucia to give to them. Give them some groceries. You see, we have too many prayer Christians in this country. And let me explain that. to
Come
you.
on,
Let me just
come
explain
on.
that real quick.
But I need to hear
if
this.
you know somebody is
Yeah, yeah,
hungry
yeah.
and you can give them a bread,
Come on.
cut out this I will pray for you to get a bread stuff.
Yeah.
Give them the bread and then pray for them.
Then pray for him.
Because you can give them the bread.
Yeah.
Don't just pray for them. The
Yeah.
bread's going to just fall from the sky.
Come on.
But God has given you the bread to give to them. So we have too many just prayer Christians. I'll pray for you instead of I will help you. How about I help you and pray for you?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So if you can do your part,
I know,
just
right?
do your part.
I
You don't
know,
need to go through Rice and Lucia or any other
Ay,
organization.
ay, ay, ay,
Whatever
ay.
you can do, and then just, you know what?
Yes.
Do it from your heart. To the point where even if the person you do it for is ungrateful, it
Yeah.
doesn't bother you.
Right.
Because that's the thing sometimes. We want people to be so grateful that we're the savior and we did
Yeah.
so much for them that we get bothered if tomorrow they pass us straight. It's like,
Come on.
didn't I just feed this person?
Come
Did this
on.
one? I don't care.
Don't care.
Maybe they're in a headspace where they didn't even see you. You ever walk past somebody, you didn't see them because you're in your own thought? Yes, you got a meal yesterday, but what about today? You worried about that.
Right.
So we need to be able to help people without expecting anything from them. And when I say expecting, don't even expect them to be grateful. Because you don't even understand the mindset that they're in, right to the point where they don't even realize they just got a meal and their stomach is full, but sometimes it doesn't even sink in that it shouldn't matter. So you don't have to come to my organization. You don't have to work with me. You don't like how I'm doing it? That's fine too.
Yeah.
Show me a different way. Do it on your own. Let me say, oh, snap. I like how Tongie is doing that. I'm going to steal that.
Yeah.
I'm going to do it that way.
Yeah,
Because it's
yeah.
working, it's more effective. I have no problems with that. So I don't want people to feel like they must come to my organization or they must come to me or they must do. No, you don't have to go through me. And if I see you doing something and it's working and I can help you, I'm doing it. You might be my worst enemy, Tongie, and I see you doing something good,
Yeah.
I'm on board. I don't care if you like it or not. I'm on board. And you can't stop me from being on board. Because if you're my enemy and you have a GoFundMe to help somebody, can you block me from donating?
All right,
you
now.
Can't.
Speaking of GoFundMe right now, that I do, sir. I have a GoFundMe campaign at my website, www.drtongieshow.com. I have adopted the community of ancillary. Those are my babies, man. And that's my story, and I'm sticking with it. I'm trying to do this without crying, but it's really hard. I really need you that stayed around and listened just a little longer. If you have gleaned anything from this show, I pray that it is something that will help someone. That's what the show's about. The show's about inspiring you, it's about motivating you, but it's about making certain that you get to where you need to be, and we all are in this thing called life together. Every time I say I'm not going to cry, I do just that. How dare you, RastaMan? Coming in my territory making me cry. Thank you so very much, St. Lucia. Thank you so very much for making every dream come true. It's not easy, man, when you're out here and you're living for righteousness. You're living for what's right. If we've inspired you any kind of way, we really want to hear from you. We want to see you do even more. Thank you, RastaMan. Thank you for all that you do. God bless you in the works of your hands. Thank you, sir. Be good to yourselves. Be good to yourselves. You are so valuable that he interrupted your life to let you know how much he cares about you. Thank you. We'll do this thing again next week. Called Talk to Tongie. And that's our show. Thank you again. Bye. This is Talk to Tongie. I'm from a little town called Columbus, Mississippi, and I've come all the way here to show you exactly how you can live abundantly. Fear is nothing. You hear me? You can do anything you put your mind to. I'm your girl, Talk to Tongie. We're gonna do life together.
You're